Hi and salam sejahtera. Today I will share with you a topic on the evolution of science from Greek science to modern world and its impact to society. Science are normally at the level of civil society, okay, at the level of civil society or in the common definition, maybe will be understood as something natural, value free, which is not tied, okay, not influenced to the interests of the society or the community that produce scientific knowledge. However, if we think more deeply, we will get better understanding and we'll recognize, okay, we'll know what science is. This discussion actually is not a pessimistic approach about or regarding science, but as an attempt to have a critical discussion in evaluating science, especially modern science in the modern world. So I will explain how the characteristic of sine change in terms of function and its operation. This happen when sign changes from sign, or maybe in other words, I would call original sign or old sign, okay, old sign or ancient sign to modern sign. The use of a different term, namely sign and modern sign, already show to us the difference, okay, between sign and modern sign itself. So in this presentation, I will start with the first one is relationship of science and technology. The second part is I will explain from ancient to modern science, which is consists of evolution one, Greek science and path to modern science. Evolution two, medieval science and Renaissance. Evolution three, scientific revolution and industrial revolution. And the last uh, content is impact of science and technology to society, and then I will come to the conclusion and recommendation. Okay, we will start the discussion with a relationship of science and technology. The relationship between science and technology has existed for almost 2,500 years, and it has evolved from isolation and independence to a close and interdependent and equally beneficial to each other. Technology, um, technically, okay, or basically existed long before the existence of modern technology. In fact, technology is any form of system, tool, technique, or information that have improved the efficiency of its users. If we accept that interpretation, it means it's not just human or Homo sapien who obtain or have technology. Jane Goodall, a sociologist, for example, point out that other species, such as chimpanzee, for example, also have abilities or capabilities in obtain technology. Chimpanzees, for example, also can plan for uh, differentiating or self-sufficiency. Okay. However, only Homo sapien has the most authentic, real, and unique technology. Technology is used to shape and change the environment according to its desire and needs of the human. And we should know that the fact the progress and the development achieved since the 17th century is the greatest, the biggest achievement in the history of human civilization. And interesting question we can raise in this context is how did Homo sapiens achieve such a tremendous civilization achievement today? Okay, the second part of my presentation is I will touch on the progress, okay, of science from ancient to modern science. We already get the basic knowledge or basic information regarding the relationship between science and technology that in the early stage existed on its own. And finally, we can see that science and technology complement each other. Until today, it's normal for us to use or to pronounce these two words together, science and technology. This proves to us that science has its significant fundamental role uh, in the development of technology itself. It is interesting for us to see what type of science that existed much earlier before the birth of modern science. In general, science can be understood as organized knowledge of natural phenomena. So we can say that science as an activity that involves observation, data collecting, experiment, and analysis in order to understand our nature. In science, we use theories to propose and formulate explanation about phenomenon observed. Such these activities can be seen in Greek sign, and many scholars actually believe that Greek sign pioneered the birth of modern sign, as it had already started the early features or characteristic of modern sign, as we will discuss later. We also see that Greek science as an academia activity or academic activities for the sake of knowledge to understand our nature. So we can draw a critical question actually, did Greek science stop there? Okay, so the first we touch on evolution one. Okay, I call evolution one, Greek science and path to modern science. The first thing we can see about Greek science is the features of explanation of natural phenomena. In Greek science, it does not involve gods or supernatural, or in other words, we call Dewa or Devi, supernatural powers. In giving an explanation, Greek science will refer to natural object, factors, and processes in nature. Okay, for example, Thales, one of the philosopher in Greek, proposed water is everything. Meanwhile, Anaximenes proposed appearance is the origin of everything. Okay, so beside that, common law or natural law, and it is not individualistic, but explained in a more complex context. For example, tides, are associated with the gravity of the moon and not due to the anger of the gods or Dewa or Devi. Here we can see a rational features in Greek sign. Even it should be understood that what is proposed in Greek sign is of course different in its justification or explanation if we compare to the content of modern science. But what I am trying to convey here or to stress here is the existence of a rational feature or characteristic, which is also lead to the birth of modern science. So number two, the use of rational argument in order to put forward and defend a theory. For example, Anaximenes critics, Anaximenes critics, which is proposed appearance of tale, which is proposed origin of everything. Origin of everything is water. And also we can see in the case of Parmenides and Zeno that propose changes is impossible. This is a philosophical argument, which is being or existence does not change, but the changes is apparent, which is referred to what that which appear, okay, something that appear, something that can be seen, and not the reality, okay. So we can refer to the Zeno's paradox for this case. Number three, abstraction of nature, especially through mathematics. A nature that full of diversity explained by formulation of mathematical model and theories. The abstraction of the physical realm take its most extreme form. For example, when Plato gave geometric shape to four elements, which is fire, water, earth, and air. Number four, systematic and intensive observation of nature. For example, we can see in Aristotle work in biology, Galen in medicine, and Ptolemy in astronomy. And the last one is method and logical argument are used in drawing conclusion. Greek sign use more on deductive logic, which is draw specific conclusion based on general statement rather than inductive logic. So evolution two, okay, medieval science and Renaissance, uh, we can see that science changed again during the medieval science and Renaissance. So during medieval ages in Europe, science in Islamic civilization developed in the 8th century, okay, with the translation of Greek works into Arabic. Euro at that time was in the dark ages without progress in science and philosophy. And the same time, Islamic civilization inherited Greek science and philosophy through figures such as Al-Kindi, Al-Farabi, Ibn Sina or Avicenna, Ibn Rushd, Averroes, and Al-Khwarizmi. In the 12th and 30th centuries, the treasures of Greek knowledge in Arabic were brought or transferred to Euro and translated into Latin as the lingua franca of that time. However, scholars differ on this matter regarding the transfer of Greek science to the modern world. So the Renaissance era was the resurgence of knowledge in Europe. It is also known as the Age of Enlightenment and occur more precisely in the 12th century due to the rediscovery of Greek knowledge in Toledo and Cordova. So evolution three, scientific revolution and industrial revolution, which is occur during 17th century. Science changed as it entered the era of scientific revolution and industrial revolution. During the scientific revolution, some big or several big events happened in science. Among them, changes in the content of knowledge in science, okay, which is occur in astronomy, changes in methodology, from rational or from the use of mind to more on empirical approach or methodology or method. And then the last one is organization knowledge from individual to institutional. So an important event considered to be the trigger to the scientific revolution was the astronomy revolution. It refers to the debate between religious institution and scientific institution about the center of the universe. Religious scholars hold to the theory of geocentric, which is the Earth as the center of nature, while scientists uh, hold to the heliocentric, which is the sun as the center of universe. Through this series of events, there was a change in term of methodology, which is science leading to empirical proof. Okay, so science more on empirical proof in terms of method. This did not happen in previous civilization, including during the age of Greek science. So science in Europe during Renaissance began to be institutionalized, and this contributed to the very uh, rapid or to the progress or development of modern science. So, what can be learned from the evolution of science, which is from progress to realization, from theory to apply, okay, when the scientific knowledge is applied, okay, and from episteme to technique. Okay, so what we can summary, okay, the characteristic of sign as shown in this slide, okay, sign before 70th century, which is more organic characteristic, which is refer or related to maybe religion, maybe to philosophy, okay, and then second one emphasizing the foundation and integrity of philosophy, effort to answer the why question. Okay, this one refer to teleological question, and then the last one rational and qualitative. Meanwhile, science in 17th century okay, changed to mechanistic characteristic, focusing on problem solving, ignoring the integration of philosophy, effort to answer the how question, and the last one is more functional and quantitative. Apart from its impact on man and nature, okay, the impact of science and technology on man and nature, the evolution of science can be seen in the context of the content of knowledge. Okay, this is where we will clearly see the changes in science. We can draw a big distinction, okay, between science before 17th century and science in 70th century. Okay, before 70th and during or in 70th century. All right, so we come to the last part of our OSMITE presentation, which is the impact of science and technology to society. So of course, we are facing the challenges, okay, arise from the development or progress of modern science and technology. So in terms of military, for example, medicine, economic, culture, so we are facing, okay, for example, world security and political stability, bioethical issues, economic growth, okay, sustainable development issues, for example, social aspect, okay, the gap between the rich and poor, and so on. And then maybe in terms of culture, science and technology may change the values, the moral, and the thinking system of the society. All right. So I show here the successes of science and technology. So maybe in terms of well-being, quality of life, development, new field, save time, skill, job opportunities, and so on. The failures of science and technology, maybe we can refer to environment and human, urbanization, pollution, social divide, ethical dilemmas, okay, that occur in the progress in the development of science and technology. Okay, so from the progress or the development of science and technology from ancient science to modern science, so we can see the huge, the tremendous, the very significant impact, okay, to the modern society. So the question we can arise is such as who's to blame, okay? So we know that yeah, maybe we agree that science is objective, okay? Maybe some of us agree that science is not objective but constructive, okay, which is uh, involve the values of the scientific community and so on. And we know science is value free, okay, value laden, and then maybe some of us agree or think that technology is neutral. Okay, so this is a very big question, very big discussion actually, and then I think it's a very interesting question to be tackled, to be maybe to be discussed and to be solved. Okay, so for the conclusion and recommendation, the good and bad impact of science and technology on society need to be explored. Okay, relation of science and technology and society should be harmonized so there is no abuse of science and technology, and of course to the society. Science and technology is not value free, but depend on how human being manipulate or use science and technology. Science and technology management in today's life system need of people with knowledge, okay, in values, okay, knowledge in skill and so on. So the last one, my suggestion is science technology should be guided by societal institution such as ethic, more sorry, moral, culture, and religion. Okay, all right. So with that, we come to the end of my presentation. Thank you.